Hi friends! Welcome back to another week of online learning. Can you guys believe that we are in the month of May? We're so close to being to official summer. So for this week, you guys are going to be doing some activities around Pearl Harbor. I hope that you find them interesting. Just like we've been doing in the last few weeks, you're going to be doing all of these activities inside Google Classrooms. You should try to finish by Thursday, but Friday is, of course, your catch-up day. So you have 4 different activities to do this week. One of them is a video, but you're going to start by going to the file that's called It's All About Perspective. So you're going to click down here. So for this activity, you are going to think about a typical situation that could happen to anybody. It could happen to you, any 5th grader at Johns Creek, really any kid that goes to a school cafeteria. And then you're going to imagine that you're on the other side of the situation. So the 2 scenarios are, the first one is that you saw a student in the cafeteria drop their lunch tray and slip on the spaghetti sauce. So that's the first one. You can write down your thoughts, emotions, and reaction to being an eyewitness to that happening. But then I want you to read the scenario that says that you were walking back to your table from the lunch line when you accidentally dropped your lunch tray. Then you slipped on the spaghetti sauce and fell down. So then you're responding to your thoughts, emotions, and reaction, and really thinking about how, depending on what perspective you're looking at that situation from. Are you watching it, or is it happening to you? And how that can really change all of these things, your thoughts, emotions, and reaction. When you're finished, you will click the turn in button. All right. Activity number 2 is to watch a 17-minute video clip about Pearl Harbor. This is on Discovery Education. You'll want to open Discovery Ed in class link before you click on the link. If for some reason you have trouble clicking on the link, then just search for this title, Pearl Harbor, The Attack Begins. I think it's a really interesting video. Let's see if it works for me. But it really sets you guys up to be able to do this activity well because it gives you a lot of visuals, lets you know some of that important background information. After you have watched the video, you're going to read 2 articles. One article is about Pearl Harbor from the perspective of an American soldier, and the other one is an article from the perspective of a Japanese soldier. And what's really cool about this is that it's true. So for the Japanese fighter pilot perspective, these are from a website called Eyewitness History. So if you're interested in this, I totally recommend going to this website. You can find all different kinds of stuff. But basically, this is the things that are in quotes are actual, like a diary entry, essentially. And so you can see the diary entry really starts here and goes all the way down. So it gives you some really interesting ways to look at Pearl Harbor from the Japanese perspective. And then, of course, the American soldier perspective is here, and that's another diary entry of sorts. And so it gives some really good details and information. Oh, I don't know what that extra stuff is, but that's okay. Okie dokie. So after you've done that, just kidding. Or really while you're reading, there's a note-taking sheet that is attached down at the bottom on the file titled Criteria Organizer. And basically you're just writing in here, goodness gracious. You can write inside, I don't know why it makes you have to click on this thing, but you can keep this open. I would keep this open while you're reading the articles. And so it's ideas, thought, and the emotions felt. So it's just like a note-taking sheet for you to use. So a minimum of 2 ideas and 2 emotions for each side. So that would be like 8 total things. So 2, 2, 2, 2. But don't forget, you double click, and then that's when you'll be able to write on there. When you're finished with this, you'll go ahead and turn it in. All of this is leading you to the final activity for this week, where you're really comparing and contrasting the two perspectives from the Japanese fighter pilot and the American soldier. That is on the file that is titled the Compare and Contrast Organizer. So this is kind of like a Venn diagram. I just couldn't find a way to easily type into a Venn diagram. So I made it where it has the before, during, and after. So these are differences in the thoughts and emotions from the Japanese fighter pilot perspective. And so really focusing on how they're different from the American perspective. And then alternatively, you have the differences in thoughts and emotions from the American soldier perspective before, during, and after the attack. And then the part you're really going to have to be the most creative with is what are those similarities between Japanese fighter pilot and the American soldier before, during, and after. So once you're finished with this, you're done for the week and you can click the turn in button.